Some women punish themselves with strict diets and exhausting workouts, yet their weight keeps returning. Meanwhile, many Japanese women stay naturally slim without spending hours inside a gym. The difference is not a miracle food or secret exercise. It is what they quietly do during the first hour after waking. These 7 small morning habits influence how much they eat, how often they move, and how their body feels for the rest of the day. And habit number 1 is so simple that most people completely ignore it, even though it holds every other habit together. Before we begin, subscribe to the Japan Life Code and turn on notifications, because every video reveals practical Japanese habits that can make your body, home, and daily life feel lighter. Now let us begin with habit number 7, the moment Japanese women wake their bodies before feeding their hunger. Habit 7. Wake your body before you feed your hunger. The first habit begins before a Japanese woman takes her first bite of breakfast. Many people wake up and immediately become still. They sit on the bed checking their phones, sit again while drinking coffee, and then travel to work only to spend several more hours sitting. Their eyes may be open, but their bodies remain trapped in sleep mode. Many Japanese women begin their mornings with gentle movement. They open the curtains, make the bed, tidy the room, stretch their arms, rotate their shoulders, or perform a few minutes of radio taiso, a traditional Japanese movement routine practiced by people of different ages. These actions look too small to change anything, but that is exactly what makes them powerful. A difficult workout demands motivation. Gentle morning movement requires almost none. It can be repeated even when you are tired, busy, or not in the mood. Remember, staying slim without a gym does not mean staying slim without movement. The Japanese secret is to stop treating movement as something that only happens during exercise. Making the bed, cleaning the room, walking to the kitchen, stretching near a window, and taking a short walk are all opportunities to prevent the morning from becoming completely inactive. Try this simple Japanese-inspired routine tomorrow. When you wake up, leave your phone untouched for the first 5 minutes. Open the curtains and allow natural light into the room. Stand tall, reach both hands above your head. Gently turn your upper body from side to side. Rotate your shoulders, bend your knees a few times, and then walk around your home. You do not need to become exhausted. You do not even need to sweat. The goal is simply to replace morning stillness with morning motion. This small change also creates an important psychological victory. Before the world begins asking things from you, you have already done something kind for your body. You feel more awake, more intentional, and more prepared to make your next decision consciously instead of automatically. Do this for 7 mornings and notice the difference, not only in your body, but in your attitude. The woman who begins her morning by moving is more likely to keep moving throughout the day. But after waking the body, many people immediately undo that healthy beginning by filling their first cup with sugar. That brings us to habit number 6. Habit 6. Their first drink is not a hidden dessert. You may believe your morning drink is harmless because it comes inside a cup instead of on a plate. But for many women, the first meal of the day is actually a sweetened coffee, packaged juice, flavored latte, or energy drink filled with sugar. It does not feel like overeating because you are drinking it, yet those calories still count. And because a sugary drink may not satisfy hunger like a balanced meal, breakfast often follows as if nothing was consumed. This is where many Japanese mornings look different. The first drink is often plain water or unsweetened tea, perhaps green tea, roasted barley tea, or another simple drink without syrups, whipped cream, or several spoonfuls of sugar. The tea itself is not a miracle fat burner. It does not melt belly fat while you sit still, and adding one Japanese drink to an unhealthy lifestyle will not transform your body. Its real power comes from what it replaces. When you choose water or unsweetened tea instead of a sugary drink each morning, you remove an unnecessary source of sweetness before the day has properly begun. You also train your taste buds not to expect an intense sugar reward immediately after waking. Think about the pattern created by a very sweet morning. Once your mouth receives that powerful sweetness, plain food can begin to feel boring. You may want another sweet coffee, a pastry, or something sugary before lunch. The first choice does not always remain one choice. It can influence everything that follows. A simpler drink creates a calmer beginning. There is no dramatic rush, no feeling that breakfast must compete with dessert, and no belief that you have already ruined your morning. Try this without making the change feel like punishment. If you normally add 3 spoonfuls of sugar to your tea or coffee, reduce it gradually. Move from 3 to 2, then from 2 to 1. If you regularly buy flavored coffee, choose a smaller size or request less syrup. If you drink packaged juice, replace it with water and eat a piece of whole fruit alongside breakfast instead. The goal is not to fear sugar or promise that you will never enjoy a sweet drink again. Japanese moderation is not about banning pleasure. It is about choosing the right time and amount, instead of allowing sweetness to control the first moments of every day. Tomorrow morning, drink 1 glass of water before preparing anything else. Then choose plain tea, lightly sweetened coffee, or another simple drink. Repeat this for 1 week and notice whether you begin wanting less sweetness naturally. A slim lifestyle is often built through substitutions, not suffering. You do not always need to eat less. Sometimes you simply need to stop drinking the calories that never made you feel fed. But once the cup becomes lighter, attention must turn to the plate, because the wrong breakfast can awaken cravings that follow you for the rest of the day. Habit 5. They eat a breakfast that prevents later cravings. Many women believe skipping breakfast will help them eat less. The morning passes with nothing but coffee, and for a few hours they may even feel successful. But by late morning or afternoon, their hunger becomes stronger, their concentration drops, and the quickest food suddenly becomes the most tempting. The problem is not a lack of discipline. The body has simply been asked to continue working without receiving enough satisfying food. Other women eat breakfast, but their meal is mostly sweetness. Pastries, sugary cereal, biscuits, sweetened yogurt, or white bread covered in spread. Their stomach is technically full, yet the meal may not keep them comfortably satisfied for very long. Soon they begin searching for another snack. A traditional Japanese-style breakfast follows a different pattern. It may contain a modest serving of rice, miso soup, grilled fish, tofu, an egg, seaweed, vegetables, or pickles. It looks more like a small balanced meal than a plate of morning dessert. You do not have to cook fish or prepare miso soup every morning. The valuable lesson is not the exact menu. It is the balance behind it. Build your breakfast around 3 things: a source of protein, a fiber-rich food, and a sensible portion of carbohydrates. Protein could come from eggs, tofu, plain yogurt, beans, fish, or another food that suits your diet. Fiber may come from vegetables, fruit, oats, seeds, or whole grains. Then add enough rice, bread, potatoes, or another carbohydrate to provide energy without allowing it to take over the entire plate. For example, you could eat 2 eggs with vegetables and whole grain toast. You could have plain yogurt with fruit, oats, and a few nuts. You could prepare tofu with leftover vegetables and a small portion of rice. The meal does not need to look impressive. It needs to help you reach lunchtime without fighting your own hunger. This is where many diets fail. They focus only on making breakfast smaller, not making it smarter. A tiny breakfast may contain fewer calories at 8 o'clock, but if it sends you searching for pastries at 10 and overeating at lunch, it has not truly helped you. A satisfying breakfast creates quiet control. You stop thinking about food every 30 minutes. You are less likely to eat whatever appears in front of you simply because your hunger has become urgent. You make choices from a calm mind instead of an empty stomach. Prepare 1 part of breakfast the night before if mornings are busy. Wash and cut fruit, boil eggs, portion oats, prepare vegetables, or place the ingredients where you can see them. A healthy breakfast becomes easier when it does not require 20 decisions while you are tired. And remember, healthy does not mean unlimited. Nuts, rice, bread, oils, and other nutritious foods can still become large portions. The Japanese principle is balance. Enough food to satisfy the body, but not so much that the morning begins with heaviness. When breakfast contains real nourishment, you do not have to spend the rest of the day wrestling with cravings that were created at sunrise. But choosing good food is only half of the habit. Even a balanced breakfast can become too much when it is eaten quickly and without attention. That is why habit number 4 changes not what Japanese women eat, but the exact moment they decide to stop. Habit 4. They stop when hunger ends, not when the plate is empty. There is a quiet moment during every meal when your body has received enough, but most people eat straight past it. They continue because food is still on the plate, because the meal tastes good, or because they are watching a screen and barely noticing how much they have eaten. They finally stop only when their stomach feels stretched, heavy, or uncomfortable. By then, hunger ended several bites ago. In Okinawa, Japan, there is a traditional principle known as hara hachi, which means eating until you feel approximately 80% full. It does not mean starving yourself, counting every grain of rice, or leaving the table while still desperately hungry. It means stopping when you feel comfortably satisfied instead of waiting until your stomach forces you to stop. This sounds simple, but it requires a skill that many people have lost: listening to the body. Your stomach cannot speak louder than a television, a phone, or a rushed mind. When you eat while scrolling through social media, answering messages, standing inside the kitchen, or thinking about everything you must do next, you may barely experience the meal. Your hand continues moving from the plate to your mouth while your attention is somewhere else. Japanese meals often encourage awareness through presentation. Food may be served in several smaller bowls and dishes instead of being piled onto one enormous plate. This creates variety, makes the portions easier to see, and allows the meal to feel abundant without requiring one oversized serving. You can use this principle with any cuisine. Serve breakfast on a smaller plate. Place the amount you intend to eat in front of you instead of eating directly from a packet or cooking pan. Sit down, remove your phone, and allow breakfast to become an actual meal rather than something you swallow while rushing toward the door. During the meal, slow down enough to ask yourself one honest question: am I still hungry, or am I simply continuing? There is a difference between the two. Hunger feels like the body still needs food. Continuing feels like your mouth wants another taste. Your eyes see something remaining, or your habits tell you the plate must be cleaned. Try placing your spoon or chopsticks down between several bites. Chew properly. Pause halfway through the meal and give your body a moment to respond. If you still feel hungry, continue eating without guilt. But when hunger has disappeared and comfort has arrived, allow yourself to stop. At first, this may feel strange, especially if you were raised to finish everything on your plate. The solution is not to waste food. Begin by serving yourself a little less, then take more only if you genuinely need it. Leftovers can be saved. Your body does not need to become the place where every extra bite is stored. This habit protects you from one of the most common forms of overeating: eating beyond satisfaction simply because stopping was never treated as an option. And this is the deeper Japanese lesson. Slimness is not always maintained by saying no to delicious food. Sometimes it is maintained by enjoying that food fully, noticing when it has done its job, and having the confidence to stop. When you finish breakfast feeling light rather than stuffed, movement no longer feels like punishment. Your body is ready to walk, work, bend, carry, and continue through the morning comfortably. That leads naturally to habit number 3. Because Japanese women do not always schedule movement as exercise, they quietly build it into the life they are already living. Habit 3. They do not wait for a workout to start moving. A gym session may last 1 hour, but your daily lifestyle controls what happens during all the hours that remain. This is where many people become confused. They believe movement only counts when they wear exercise clothes, follow a fitness video, use equipment, or finish a difficult workout covered in sweat. If none of that happens, they assume the day has been completely lost. Many Japanese women follow a quieter form of movement. They may walk to a train station, cycle to a nearby shop, use the stairs, carry groceries, clean the home, stand while completing tasks, or walk a short distance after breakfast. None of these actions looks impressive enough to post online, but together they prevent the body from remaining still for most of the day. This is the real meaning of staying slim without a gym. It does not mean avoiding physical activity. It means allowing physical activity to become part of ordinary life, instead of waiting for motivation to create it. Think about how modern convenience has slowly removed movement from your morning. You wake up with your phone beside the bed. A machine prepares your drink. An elevator takes you downstairs. A car carries you from one door to another. Then a chair holds you for several hours. The body was designed to move, yet almost every part of the morning has been arranged to make movement unnecessary. The Japanese-inspired solution is not to reject convenience completely. It is to stop accepting stillness every time you are given a choice. If a shop is nearby, walk instead of driving. If your destination is only a few floors above you, use the stairs. If you travel by car, park slightly farther from the entrance. If you use public transport, leave a little earlier and walk part of the route. While waiting for breakfast to cook, tidy the kitchen, fold clothes, or move around instead of immediately returning to your phone. Even a short walk after breakfast can become an important signal. It tells you that the meal is finished, the morning has begun, and your body is not going to spend the entire day sitting. The secret is to make the movement too easy to refuse. Do not begin by promising an hour-long walk every morning if you know your schedule will not support it. Begin with 10 minutes. Walk around your neighborhood, through a nearby park, inside a shopping area, or even around your home when the weather is bad. 10 minutes may seem insignificant, but a habit you repeat is more valuable than an ambitious routine you abandon after 3 days. You can also use what may be called movement stacking. Connect a small movement to something you already do every morning. After drinking water, stretch for 2 minutes. After breakfast, walk for 10 minutes. When entering a building, choose the stairs. While speaking on the phone, stand or walk. The existing activity becomes a reminder, so you do not need to depend entirely on memory or motivation. This is how a lifestyle quietly becomes more active. You stop asking, "Did I exercise today?" and begin asking, "How many opportunities to move did I accept?" You may never notice one staircase, one household task, or one short walk changing your body, but the body remembers repetition. Small movements performed every day can become more meaningful than occasional bursts of exercise, followed by long periods of inactivity. Do not underestimate what looks ordinary. A naturally active woman may not appear to be exercising, but her body is rarely forgotten for hours at a time. She bends, reaches, carries, walks, stands, and changes position throughout her day. Tomorrow morning, choose one piece of convenience to remove. Walk one short distance. Take one staircase. Complete one task while standing. Do not try to become an athlete before breakfast. Simply become a woman who no longer chooses stillness automatically. But movement cannot completely protect you from a lunch chosen during extreme hunger. That is why the next Japanese habit happens before leaving home. They decide what and how much they will eat before cravings are allowed to decide for them. Habit 2. They choose their portions before hunger chooses for them. The most dangerous moment to decide what you will eat is when you are already extremely hungry. At that moment, you are not thinking about balance, portion size, or how the meal will make you feel later. You want something fast, large, and satisfying immediately. The food with the strongest smell, the biggest portion, or the brightest picture suddenly becomes difficult to resist. Then, after eating more than you intended, you blame yourself for having weak discipline. But the real mistake happened earlier that morning, when you left home without making a plan. Many Japanese women protect themselves from this situation by preparing a bento-style lunch. A bento is more than food arranged neatly inside a box. It is a decision made before hunger arrives. The size of the container creates a clear boundary. Its compartments encourage different foods to share the available space, instead of allowing one large, heavy item to dominate the entire meal. A lunch might contain a modest portion of rice, fish, chicken, tofu or egg, vegetables, and a small side dish. You do not need a traditional Japanese bento box to use this method. Any reusable container can work. The important habit is deciding what and how much you will eat while your mind is calm. Imagine two versions of the same afternoon. In the first, you have prepared nothing. You become hungry, open a delivery app, and begin looking through photographs of oversized meals. Because your hunger is now urgent, ordering one main item does not feel like enough. You add fries, a sweet drink, and perhaps a dessert. The decision was not made by your long-term goal. It was made by your strongest craving. In the second version, you open your bag and find a prepared meal. The portion has already been chosen. The vegetables are already washed. The protein is already cooked. A planned snack is waiting if you need it later. The difficult decision has disappeared. That is the power of preparation. It removes the argument before it begins. A useful lunch does not need to be tiny. If the portion is so small that you remain hungry, you may simply search for more food afterward. Build a meal that feels complete. Include vegetables or fruit, a source of protein, and a sensible portion of rice, bread, potatoes, or another carbohydrate. If your afternoons are long, pack a simple snack such as fruit, plain yogurt, or a small amount of nuts. And if you genuinely enjoy something sweet, you do not always need to ban it. A small planned treat can be easier to manage than trying to avoid all pleasure and then losing control when cravings become too strong. The Japanese lesson is not deprivation, it is proportion. The morning is also the perfect time to protect your home environment. If biscuits, sweets, and chips remain open and visible, they continue asking for your attention. Put them away and place water, fruit, or prepared food where it can be seen easily. What surrounds you often becomes what you choose. You can make this habit simple by preparing most of the meal the night before and packing it in the morning. Cook enough dinner to create one balanced portion for tomorrow. Wash fruit, prepare vegetables, or portion snacks in advance. You are not creating an elaborate meal for social media. You are creating protection for the version of yourself who will be tired and hungry later. Before leaving home, ask, when hunger arrives today, what decision have I already made? If the answer is nothing, convenience will probably make that decision for you. But when your food has been chosen calmly, portioned clearly, and packed carefully, staying balanced no longer depends on perfect willpower. This is how Japanese moderation often works. It does not wait for temptation and then begin fighting. It quietly reduces temptation before the fight starts. Yet planning one balanced lunch will not transform your body if the routine disappears after 2 days. The final habit is what turns every small action we have discussed into a lasting lifestyle. Habit number 1 is not about doing more, it is about creating a rhythm your body can trust. Habit 1. They follow a rhythm instead of waiting for motivation. The greatest secret is not hidden inside a Japanese breakfast, a cup of green tea, or a special exercise. It is rhythm. Most women already know many things that could help them feel healthier. They know they should move more, eat balanced meals, control portions, drink fewer sugary beverages, and sleep properly. The problem is rarely a complete lack of knowledge. The real problem is that healthy choices are made only when motivation appears. On Monday, they wake up determined. They drink water, prepare breakfast, walk for 20 minutes, and promise that everything will be different. But then Tuesday becomes busy. Wednesday begins late. By Thursday, the routine has disappeared, and they tell themselves they will start again next week. Many Japanese women approach daily habits with more consistency and less drama. They do not try to create a completely new life every Monday morning. They repeat a simple sequence often enough that it begins to feel normal. They wake at approximately the same time. They open the curtains. They move their bodies gently. They drink something simple. They eat a balanced breakfast, prepare what they need for the day, and leave home without beginning the morning in panic. None of these actions is extraordinary. Their power comes from being repeated. A chaotic morning forces you to make too many decisions. Should you eat or skip breakfast? Should you prepare lunch or buy something later? Should you walk or remain in bed for another 20 minutes? Every decision uses mental energy, and when you are tired or stressed, the easiest option usually wins. A rhythm removes those arguments. You no longer ask whether you will drink water, because the glass is already waiting. You no longer wonder when you will move, because stretching comes immediately after opening the curtains. You no longer search the kitchen for breakfast, because you already know 2 or 3 balanced meals you can prepare quickly. The routine begins carrying you on days when motivation cannot. This is important because staying slim is not the result of one perfect morning. It is the result of hundreds of ordinary mornings that were handled reasonably well. Your body responds to what you repeat, not what you occasionally attempt with great intensity. Create a morning rhythm that is simple enough to survive real life. Do not design a 2-hour routine that requires perfect weather, unlimited energy, and no responsibilities. Build one that can still work when you wake up tired, when work becomes stressful, or when your children need your attention. Your basic rhythm might be this: wake at a similar time, open the curtains, drink water, move for 5 minutes, eat a balanced breakfast, prepare lunch, and walk for 10 minutes. That is enough. You can always do more when you have time, but your basic routine must be small enough that you can protect it when life becomes difficult. And here is the part many people overlook. Your morning rhythm begins the night before. If you stay awake far too late, leave the kitchen untidy, Have no breakfast ingredients prepared, and place your phone beside your pillow. The next morning begins with disadvantages you created the previous evening. You wake up late and exhausted. You reach for your phone before your feet reach the floor. You have no time to prepare food, so breakfast becomes a sweet drink or disappears completely. You leave home in a hurry and promise to make better choices later, but later you are tired, hungry, and already behind. A calmer Japanese-inspired morning is often prepared in advance. Clothes are chosen. The breakfast table is kept clear. Lunch ingredients are ready. The phone is placed away from the bed. Bedtime is respected because tomorrow's discipline depends partly on tonight's decisions. You do not need to control every minute of your life. You only need to stop making tomorrow's morning unnecessarily difficult. Choose a realistic bedtime and a regular waking time. Give yourself enough space in the morning so that healthy choices do not have to compete with panic. If your routine currently takes too long, remove unnecessary steps. Your morning should support your life, not become another source of pressure. Consistency also means refusing the all or nothing mindset. If you wake up late one day, do not abandon every habit. Drink the water. Stretch for 1 minute instead of 5. Take a prepared breakfast with you. Walk later if the morning walk is impossible. A shortened routine is still a routine. One imperfect morning does not destroy progress. The danger begins when one imperfect morning becomes an excuse to stop completely. This is another lesson hidden inside Japanese simplicity. Return quickly. You may miss a walk. You may eat more than you plan. You may buy lunch instead of preparing it. Do not punish yourself, starve yourself, or wait for another Monday. Return at the next meal, the next decision, or the next morning. A woman who returns quickly will go farther than a woman who repeatedly demands perfection from herself. Try this 7-day challenge. Choose a waking time you can realistically maintain. Write down a morning sequence containing no more than 5 or 6 actions. Keep the order the same every day. Make each action easy enough that you cannot honestly say you had no time. At the end of 7 days, do not ask only whether your weight changed. Ask better questions. Did your mornings feel calmer? Did you make fewer rushed food decisions? Did you move more naturally? Did you experience less heaviness after breakfast? Did you feel more in control of the day? Those are the early signs that a healthier lifestyle is beginning to form. The Japanese secret is not that every woman has extraordinary discipline. It is that the right actions can become ordinary through repetition. When healthy behavior feels ordinary, you no longer need to fight yourself every morning. You do not feel as though you are constantly on a diet. You are simply following the rhythm of the woman you have decided to become. That is why this is habit number 1. A balanced breakfast matters. Portion control matters. Walking matters. Sleep matters. But without rhythm, every good habit remains temporary. Do not search for the most extreme routine. Search for the one you can repeat, because the body you want will not be created by the hardest morning of your life. It will be created by the simple mornings you are willing to live again and again. The lesson from Japan is not that you need a perfect body, a strict diet, or an expensive gym membership. It is that your body remembers the way you live every ordinary morning. It remembers whether you begin the day sitting or moving. It remembers the sugar hidden inside your first drink, the quality of your breakfast, the moment you continue eating after hunger has ended, and the choices you make when no meal has been prepared. One of these habits may look too small to matter, but when small habits are repeated together, they begin changing the direction of an entire life. So tomorrow morning, do not try to change everything. Choose one habit. Open the curtains and move for 5 minutes. Replace one sugary drink. Prepare one balanced breakfast. Stop eating when you feel comfortable. Walk one short distance. Pack your lunch before hunger arrives. Then wake up and repeat it. Do not punish your body into becoming smaller. Care for it until healthier choices become natural. You may not see a dramatic difference after one morning, but transformation rarely announces itself on the first day. It begins quietly. Your mornings become calmer. Your cravings become easier to manage. Your portions become more intentional. Movement becomes part of your life. Then one day, you realize that the habits that once felt difficult have become part of who you are. That is the real Japanese secret. Not perfection, but rhythm. Not suffering, but balance. Not one extreme effort, but small actions repeated faithfully. If you are ready to begin, comment "I choose rhythm" below and tell us which habit you will start tomorrow morning. Like this video, subscribe to the Japan Life Code, and share it with a woman who believes she must suffer to change her body. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You only need to give tomorrow morning a different beginning. Because a slimmer, healthier life may not begin inside a gym. It may begin in the first few quiet minutes after you wake up.